Okay, morning. Just been sorting out my charts, and we have UK data at 9:30. Got some more data at 9. Then we're pretty quiet. Got UK GDP estimate at 1 o'clock. So ideally I need a pullback in this one. Coming into the open with a weak 60-minute bar. But this 795 is a massive pivot down here, yesterday's close. So I hope we see a drop. DAX coming into this one with a very flat 60-minute bar. So we are pretty flat. So looking for a dip into this area here. Okay, so I'm just going to sit tight for now. And just wait till we get this market open. I'll look at keep an eye on the euro on my other screen. So we'll watch this one into the open, and then I'll keep the currency pairs on my other screen. All right, this one's been really quiet all hour, and suddenly we're getting a bit of a blast into resistance. So we've got that gap at 978. Let's see how this one opens. The level we talked about last night, actually that's not on the range. That's just breached that at I'll adjust it in a minute anyway. It's enough to give us a picture. Ooh, okay. Euro yen, dollar seeing some strength into this open. Dollar and yen, not much. It's drifting lower. This one, yeah, this is a lot of resistance up here at 68. Could you short this? Yeah. It's a very flat. Yeah, it definitely looks lower. It definitely looks as if it could potentially come all the way down to 900, as I was talking about last night. It could easily come down to this 161 extension. It is just very top heavy. So I'll temporarily mark this as a top. Watch this on just the 5 minute for now, and then I'll keep an eye on the other ones. I mean, yesterday we had this topple. Last night we toppled again. We're certainly struggling here. So ideally get a gap fill. If we've got to short it, then wait for a gap fill. Pound yen, seen a little dip and has got bought. Not to any great extent. It's a overall, it's a very quiet day. Once we get this UK data out of the way, there's no other red data, and we are really quiet tomorrow morning. In fact, we're really quiet tomorrow overall until we get the Fed minutes. So it's a quiet couple of days. Okay, just coming into the 5 minute range. All right, the pound yen has got looks like it's going to get about a 10 pip range. I'll show you in a minute. Just marking that up on my other screen. Yeah, it's about a 12 pip range. This is a 15-16 pip range. Right, I've actually gone long pound yen. Let me show you what I've got. So I'm long the pound yen, titchy range, just triggered along. Hoping this 15-minute bar is going to sit on this support. Very bullish chart. DAX in the meantime. What do I do with this? It's triggering a short. Yeah, I think this is a good short. Could do with this pulling into the range. Could do with a gap fill. Excuse me. Yeah, if this is going to short, ideally we could do with 975 at least, if not higher. Let's look at the euro yen. This is looking good as well. $250. I'd like to see 250 at least on that one. Pound yen is just beginning to get a bit of speed up. For some reason I've got a massive target on that, so let's just bring that target down. Come on. I'll bring it down to just under 149 for now, and then I'll adjust it. DAX. Yeah, any pullback, I will short that one. Pound US looks good. Pullback in a similar way, so not seeing gap fills at the moment. This 794 held very nicely overnight. DAX is popping back in. Let's see, gonna leave this one alone for now and see what this one wants to do. Like I said, if I am going to short it, I'd much rather get at least 70, if not 80. I'm fighting the 60-minute MACD, so now we're fighting the trend, of course, so we're going right against the trend. Pound yen is just getting into resistance. So I won't touch that one at the moment. For those of you who just joined us, we are long the pound yen. If you want to get involved try and wait, see if we get a test of 827. So just got a position here, 10, 11 pips up at the moment. Let's see, coming into resistance now at 43. So scalper score is going to give me a target of around about 850. 857 is yesterday's highs. At the moment, it doesn't look as if it wants to pull back, but let's see. DAX is happy to push along as well. Euro yen. Euro yen's trapped in a range. Yeah, I definitely want to see this 250, if not lower. In fact, the 60-minute chart is a sell signal. Not a convincing one. It's a signal within a bullish range. All right, well, let's just I'll keep an eye on the pound yen on my other screen. In the meantime, let's watch this one. Don't want to get too bearish on this one because it's it's had a great run, and suddenly you get on the wrong side of this one. However, if the daily intraday trend is going to be short, then let's do it. $15-minute is quite bullish. The only thing that's putting me off is that extension on the daily. Right, let me just go back to the pound yen. Right, it's pulling right back. Okay, let's pulling back. So let's just look at that now then. Right, anybody who's not in this interested, wait, let's see if we get 825. It's a decent 15-minute bar. Let's see if we get 825. We've not closed the gap. This is one of the issues that's not in our favour. It's generally better if you have filled the gap. Watching that Euro yen for 250 as well, very close to yesterday's high on the Euro yen. Alright, so we've hit overnight resistance. We're just popping back in. I will reconfigure that so we don't get confused. Right, so 825 is a potential 820, 825. Euro yen holding above that yesterday's high. Right, so if you are interested in this one, this is the time you should be getting long if you want to, if you believe this is a bullish chart. The fade is the strongest setup. So we've got a buy signal, a big bullish, well, I say a decent 5-minute bullish bar. Now we're retesting the breakout area. Okay. In the meantime, the other charts are not doing a lot. Let's flick across to Euro Yen. Right, okay, that's just toying with getting close to yesterday's high. I would much prefer a dip closer to that gap. Much prefer a deeper gap fill. And DAX is so we've got a sell signal here. We've come into the middle of the range and currently dipping lower. 15 minutes says lower. That's spinning top under the 15-minute 200. The 5-minute says higher. And the daily is, of course, a very bullish daily. I would much rather get short higher up if I'm going to trade it at all. Euro Yen is still dipping back into the range a little bit. We'll come look at that in a minute. Let me get the DAX up on my other charts. Yen pairs, Euro and Pound Yen are holding up okay. Okay, so not much else to report at this stage. Pound Yen is just holding 25, not doing much. Dow is strong. Pound Yen's ticking a little bit lower. So I'm seeing a little bit of yen strength here at the moment. Let's see where we are at past. Right, Euro Yen coming into yesterday's highs now. Okay, DAX picking up. Pound yen, okay. So literally not much to report. So we'll stay quiet till I think there's something to do. I am just looking to see if this can short higher up. But like I said, reluctant to get short unless I've got a decent signal. Pound yen picking up. Euro yen. Euro is not. So let's see what this 15-minute close gives us. Pound yen is behaving as I'd expect, just ticking above the breakout area now. Another chart I think is going to do really well this week is oil. We'll look at that in a minute. Okay, I'm going to risk a short on this one. So I'm going to tick high a little bit higher. Okay, I've gone short this. Short the DAX. Let's see if we can just drop out of the bottom as we come out of this. Pound yen is ticking up. So we've got an open and a close on the top of the range, so that bodes very well. We have a nice 15-minute engulfing bar, so that is looking good for that one. The euro yen is very slack, looks lower. DAX, it looks as if we're just about to get a lower 15-minute close, which could drag us down to 900. But it is not a convincing setup at the moment. I will just bring that up to 902 or 3. So we have triggered short. We triggered short 10 minutes into the trading session. Whoops. So so if you're wondering why I'm going short when this is still in the middle of the range, it's because it's triggered short and I'm just trying to get a better entry. And we are under the 15-minute 200 with a spinning top on the previous 15-minute bar, i.e. potential short signal. Right, pound yen is back to just slightly under my entry point. So it's a slowish start to the session. Okay, I'll just go quiet until we get this next 15-minute bar out of the way, and then I'll talk to you again. Okay, we have actually got a 15-minute cell signal in this now. So after the initial trigger short, we are not back in the scalper score cell zone yet, i.e. a break of 55. But that is a sell signal, no question, on that 15-minute chart with the open trading range already triggered short. So we do need to obviously break 55. Pound yen is back in the range with a lower 15-minute close. And the euro yen is looking lower. Okay, so I'm going to leave that euro yen alone, because if that comes down to 200, I'm very interested. Pound yen's coming off at the moment as well. Back into the range. But still, as long as we stay in this range and can hold 820, I'm happy. Obviously, if we break 813, this may not work. In the meantime, the DAX is holding up. This is about This is my entry point at the moment, so I'm flat on that one. Taking a little bit of heat on the pound yen. Right, I'm going to go quiet now and sit in these two trades and see where we are in 10 minutes. So I will, unless I see something else, I will just go quiet for the next 10 minutes and see where we are. All right, talk to you then. Okay, so just a quick update. I am taking a little bit of heat on this short, so may get stopped out on this. We triggered short down here. I went short halfway into the range, and I'm taking a little bit of heat on my pound yen long at the moment. So just a few pips under the entry on that one. But this 820 is a really good level of support, and so let's see if that one works. So I'm actually stopped out. I think they just nicked me on this one. Yeah, this is why I trade small size this time of the day, just to so it's triggered long. It's triggered short and long now. Obviously, I know they've got the gap up here, so that gap appears to be a bit of a magnet. So I'm going to leave this one alone, and it actually looks very bullish now, doesn't it? So we had a spinning top on 15-minute, an engulfing bar for a short signal, and but we look as if we do want to at least close the gap. So I'm just going to stand aside of that one. And this one is just around my entry point. Looking to see if this one can get some legs up to the 127 extension. As we have data in 47 minutes. Right, so if that DAX is going to stop me out, I will leave that one aside. Yeah, counter trend trade. Actually, this is it's a sell signal on the daily. It's possible I just got in a little bit too low. Euro yen is picking up. That's coming to the buy zone. Not quite done a gap fill yet, so I will leave that one alone. I would very much like to see at least a gap fill, if not 200 on that. So not a lot cooking. Just waiting to see if this pound yen can hold this 820. And ultimately pick up and run from here. Otherwise, let's have a look at the dollar pairs. So this is better, isn't it? Typical. At the moment, this pound yen is up. Pound US is better. That's holding up. That's dipped into the range and is holding above. Euro US ran up overnight. This is one of my fears, that a lot of these markets run up overnight. This one has. It's holding up really well. Look how the 60-minute chart is reacting to the Sunday Open. We came into this short into non-farm payroll. I bought this into Friday's close, and here we are. The green dotted line is the Sunday Open. Dipped in and out of it yesterday, and here we are, a reasonable distance above it now. So weak dollar, I need a weak yen and a push off of this support, and breaking 840. We have two lower closes in the 15-minute chart. So at the moment, it is not great, but it is holding the 200. Euro yen, potentially holding that. I've got a feeling it's definitely a gap fill. There's no certainties in trading, as you know, so I will just sit tight and wait till I take a look at this one at 10 o'clock, 10:30. See if this one, UK time, so hour 15, hour 45 from now, see if this one has gap filled. Okay, it's possible I just got short DAX a little too low. It's possible I shouldn't be short the DAX at all, so I will stand aside and leave that one for now and get back to the pound yen, holding this fib zone, this 15-minute anchor chart, 820, 818 nicely. Let's see if that is going to push. All right, not seeing anything else. Oil, I'm going to talk to you about oil. 49.50 was the Sunday open, so we're 45 pips above that. I would love to see a pullback to that once the US market gets open. So the 15-minute chart is holding up. I'd want to see it dip back into that area and give me a chance. In fact, I'm going to alarm it. And hope that that shouts out at me later on in the day. Right, increasing, looking as if this can drop from here, but I will leave it. So can't see another trade. Pound US is doing okay. Pound yen is trying to hold 245. So let's just sit and watch the pound yen. If you look at the 15-minute bar, we are comfortably staying in that range at the moment. The first 15-minute range, that is. So we need a break of 8:45 to get this going. Okay, any questions, let me know. Otherwise, tell you what, while it's quiet, let's look at some 4-hour charts. So this is 782 is marked because we've got so many touches here. May high, July, and yeah, July high. So we dipped underneath it here last week and just sitting above it. So what I need is, if I copy this segment and dip it to a recent high, I need to see if we can come back to this 4-hour 50-day moving average and close above it. Didn't quite, so we're so bullish at the moment, we haven't come in contact with the 200 on this 4-hour chart. Now, does that mean we're about to roll over and maybe and come and test it? Could be. That is a risk. In the meantime, we have started well into this week with a gap up. They closed the gap a couple of hours later on the Sunday market, on the Asian market, and we're holding up at the moment. 4-hour DAX. Bullish consolidation. I've got some sell signals in here, hence my reason for trying to get short. A sell signal here this time last week. So it's incredibly narrow range here, really, really narrow range. We dipped into 890 last week. We had a high of 990 plus. So we've spent 4 or 5 trading days in 100 pip range. That's one of the reasons why I was hoping this would drop back for me. Talked a lot about the euro yen, so let's look at that one on the 4-hour chart. Here we are holding a lot of support down here at 180. Popped up into resistance at 280. Closed lower in the last 4-hour period. And we have now got a trend line. So it looks as if we get a third touch of this, then 200 is a possibility. So I'll look out for that later today. Oil. I've got a feeling we may not see 49.50 again soon. The long-term trend line is down there at 48. I talked about 48 for a couple of weeks, and at the moment I don't think we're going to get it, because this 49.50, that's my alarm, that white line there. That's just above the 50%, which we have already had a buy signal from. So next stop is 50.30, 50.20, 50.30. But I will look to buy a pullback if I can in that one. Let's look at this pound yen. I've talked a lot about that one as well. This is just bumping into resistance, but looking as if it could break. This 168 was bought. We gapped up, pulled back into there yesterday. Unfortunately, overnight on Sunday, Monday morning. So I could really do with a pullback on this one. I would like to buy at 850. Not sure it's going to give it to me. Right, in the meantime, it's a pretty quiet session, a very quiet session. Titchy range on the pound yen. So at the moment, seems to have a lot of money on the sidelines waiting for the data. Pound yen, it's not, if you just shorted it, you wouldn't have got your scalper score target. Its risk reward ratio is poor because of the gap and the 200, or maybe because of the 200. You can see all the support in front of here. So overall, a bullish start to this session. This is triggered long, but I will leave that alone. Pound yen is back in the breakout zone, just with another couple of ticks higher. I'll be back in the breakout zone. Okay, so I'm going to sit in this long and not touch anything else at this stage. Oil, so my target entries for later in the day would be oil and euro yen. Let's have a look at the Dow, because this one is not marked up properly, so let's mark that up. I think what I might do is flip this from yesterday back to Friday because of yesterday's absence from the market because of Columbus Day. So that suggests, if this is bullish, I would look for 765. Yeah, the gap. I'd look for a gap fill. All right, so we are so far trigger long on this pound yen. My target is up here at 889. So 10 pips under that 127 extension. I will adjust that to the scalper score target. If you're in this, if you're in it at 25, obviously you need to get out at 50. If you're in it at 30, then just look for yesterday's high, this resistance at 855, 860. If you are looking at this as an intraday trade, then keep your stop under 8, ideally under 810, and then because with a bigger target, you'll need a bigger stop. All right. Talk to you. Let's just okay. Give it 5 minutes. See where we are on the hourly bar. Otherwise, I'll talk to you just before, the run up to data. Yeah, as usual, be clear about your exit. If you are scalping this, stick to your exit. It's no good treating it as an intraday trade and then changing your mind. Be clear about your exit strategy. Now you're in the trade and you can manage the trade. But like I said, if you're looking for an intraday trade, you will need to keep your stop at least 810, if not lower. Okay, DAX is creeping up a little bit. Okay, talk to you in a few minutes. Okay, we've had some positive Italian data. Very weak 60 and 15-minute chart. 15-minute is just clinging on. The pound yen is liking that. It's liking the markets overall. We have a very bullish 60-minute close on this one. So let's see if we can get closer to, let's see if we can test the scalper score exits and see if we can continue to break. I mean, at the moment it's not exactly a break chart, is it? Because the range is titchy. So I have to say my expectations are at the moment lower because of low volume in this chart. I have to say the pound US is better. It's a cleaner 60-minute chart, and as you can see, it's got more volume than the pound yen at the moment. DAX, gap filled, and has a higher 60-minute close. So my counter trend trade, as with a lot of counter trend trades, has cost me. So the little nick, so the short break and the short in the middle of the range didn't work. Has done over the last few days, last few sessions, the DAX has worked on a setup like that. So it's the first time we've pushed higher in that DAX in a Euro session for a while in what is a very narrow range. Right, the pound yen is beginning to get some momentum, and the Euro yen is increasingly looking as if this 238 is going to get bought. Not convincing. Pound pairs are looking better. All right, so oil is ticking above 50. So I do hope I get a pullback in that, because that is looking good. Let's talk about Sunday opens again in all these 60-minute charts. Just pull this 60-minute chart over here, because it just tends to give you the direction for the week. This is this 49.50. This white line here is the Sunday open. There's the Sunday bar. So it opens at 49.50, closes at 49.70, dips underneath it in the Euro session yesterday, close to Friday's low. It doesn't touch Friday's low, and here we are, a good sort of 75 pips higher at the moment. The pound yen, that Sunday open was 758. That got bought into yesterday's open, pushed higher, a dip back, and went just attacking yesterday, or getting close to yesterday's highs at the moment. Pound US gapped up, closed above the gap into yesterday's Euro session, pulled back to the gap at tea time yesterday, and here we are higher. All right, I'll talk to you now at about 25 past. Pound yen's dipping right back. Yeah, the yen is seeing some strength. Dollar is weak. I've picked the wrong pair, haven't I? Dollar is a heck of a lot weaker than the yen. Let's hope that changes. Let's hope that picks up. So far, we're only dipping back into support. DAX is terrible. DAX is really low volume. That looks as if that gap fill is working at the moment. Right. I will go quiet and talk to you about 25 past, and I will sit in this and see if I can get that to work. Okay, I'll talk to you at 25 past. Okay, so data's approaching, and I'm just topped out of this. I think the one thing that worked was the fade on the DAX. That's worked really well. So frustrating. Pound US is holding up really nicely. I do like the Euro Yen. We've come into this 238 decent support. The 60 minutes is very bearish at the moment, that's all. And we may just want to do a test of 200 or 225, but keep an eye on that one. Dollar is really weak at the moment today. Where it is, so let's see what the data gives us. I'll mark off the data range. Plenty of time. You know, it's very early in the trading week. Actually, this is Euro's not a great scalping trade at the moment. There was a buy signal down there at 64. That's already in sort of extension period. I'll tell you what, if that gets to 795, 800 and puts in a sell signal, that might well be a good short. So watch this Euro Yen and see if this picks up. I've actually nibbled long down here, so I have taken a small position, but the daily is good. Overall, it's a very range-bound market. At some stage, I think this is going to pop, but obviously we are in short territory with all this support underneath it. So just looking to see if this anchor chart can hold and then lift us back, close above 250. If we get bought here and then close above 250, we've potentially got sort of intraday breakout if that pans out. In the meantime, this pound yen is a pain. We have now broken the 15-minute range on this one. And the DAX was a great fade or sort of gap setup. Just watching the US dollar yen for later in the week, not so much now. Last week's low was 230. So we're coming into last week's low here. Just chat about this while the data comes out. The US was away yesterday. So that's yesterday's low and Friday's high. So if we break down here, but then later in the day close above this 234, this one could go. Otherwise, I think it may be one for later in the week. So I will keep an eye on this one and see if we get some pullbacks later in the week. Actually, the daily has got a sell signal, hasn't it? Friday was a sell signal. Yeah, got a daily sell signal on that one. Right, let's look at the UK. Euro yen is picking up. This one is catching a bid as well. So right back into the trading range, and that's going to run, isn't it? Okay, well, if it does run, what I would look for is a fade later in the morning or later in the day if it does run. My euro yen is picking up. I've got a buy signal on the 15-minute euro yen at 238. Lovely little buy signal there. Pound US is the one to have traded, unfortunately, and it's the one I didn't take. DAX is continuing to drop. That's making me feel a bit stupid, seeing how that just sold a little bit higher and I got in short. I think I got stopped out by about 7 or 8 pips there. So I am in this one, just above my, just cover my spread. So this is an anchor chart setup, not an open trading range setup. And what I will do is, if this closes above 827, I will look for a fade later in the day. And what should I be doing here? Yeah, like I said, I'm going to have to, if this one really gathers momentum, then I will just look for a pullback. I will have to be much more careful, much more alert to what the gap fills are doing with regard to that DAX. Yeah, there was definitely. That was we came into the market with a very bearish 60-minute chart. On the 4-hour euro yen, we had this trendline support underneath it. We had the MACD looking higher. If we close above 280 today, could potentially see 135 this week if we can close above 280. We are pulling back into this very bullish bar here, so over into the Asian close we had a very bullish bar, so this is at the moment pulling back into this bullish bar. That's because I've got that in my favor, and I've got a 15-minute buy signal. But yeah, that you're absolutely right about 60 minutes. We came into the session with a sell signal on the 60-minute. DAX continues to get lower. So that's a fade. If we see 955 later today, that is a fade. So as with any of these setups, you normally get a second bite of the cherry. It's not liking the stronger euro. So overall, Forex, with the exception of that push earlier in this pound US, Forex has not been great. We're seeing a lot of narrow ranges in Forex, and the euro is a horrible range, but overall, you took it short. Okay. You took the 254 breakout, would have just given you 20 pips, okay, unless you got short higher up. That is increasingly looking good, although we obviously have a lot of congestion above it now. Oddly enough, all the other pound pairs are doing really well. Pound Aussie, pound CAD, they're all doing well except for the pound yen, which is now picking up. Okay, so what would have paid me to back off and just wait for the data? A few ticks up in the euro yen, but that's all. Okay, so the pound is bullish. Unfortunately, it's just done a little stop run. It's not even gap filled. I wish it would. If it'd done me the honour of gap filling, that would have made my life easier. The data that's coming out this morning has been very good. All right, so the DAX was the best entry at a fade of the close yesterday. I will definitely look for a fade. So I'm interested in 550, 60 short on that one. I'm interested in, if this is going to hold higher, I will come back later in the session in the morning and buy a pullback on that one. I'm just hoping that I'm going to at least get some of my money back on this euro yen. Let's look at the daily. Let me just show you what I'm seeing on the daily. Intraday, I think your short was great. So bottom of the channel, top of the channel will take us into 140. 135 is the next major stopping point. So we've closed an incredible tight range on this one. It's a box play. That's the box. So we came from 130 to 134.40. Ended up in this box from 25th of September. So I'm just hoping we can get a close above 133 and break out. That's why I keep buying these dips in this one. But Dan is quite right in talking about the bearishness that we came into the session with. This is a good fade. I think this is potentially one of the better fades actually. 166 on the anything from 150, 166 on the pound US is a potential entry on that one. The euro yen is probably best left at the moment to see if we get a test of that 795. Yeah, I think my plan will be to try and get a test of that 795. I hope the yen doesn't get that strength, because that means I'm going to get stopped out on this one as well. Okay, so it's all about fades. It's all about gap fills and fades that I'm looking for. I'm going to have to leave you with levels that I'm looking at, because I guess you could argue the euro yen and the DAX were the best trades. This one would just, depending on where you got in, would just about giving you a scalper score target. Had I have shorted on the gap fill, I would have made reasonable money. Unfortunately, I chose to get short a little bit too low. So I'll update you in the room. I will give you, as we get towards midday, I'll look to see if some of these fade setups are working. But otherwise, yeah, hands up, poor performance, got trapped in some slowish markets. This is giving you your 60, yeah, you would have got a scalp score target on this pound US, but not on the one I chose to trade. Right. I'm going to leave you there, and what I might do is I'll either give you I'll give you just a running commentary in the Skype room for levels round about midday UK time and the Dow Open, because the DAX and Euro trades are well and truly underway, and so I just need fades. Okay. I think my favourite trade for later in the day is definitely the short of this one, the fade of this one. I think if we end up with a close down here, 65 would be my target to short this one. Right, so very disappointed in my performance this morning, so I hope to give you some clarification later in the day so I can at least make up my own account and build it and add more to it. All right, I'm going to leave it there and walk away and then gather my thoughts for later. Thanks, guys.